It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Good morning, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're located. This is Gary K. and
Steph Beckett. Hey, Gary, and everyone watching, welcome to another episode of rAVe TV.
This is our, tell them what it is, though. It's our weekly TV show every Wednesday. Comes on ravepubs.com, youtube.com/ravepubs, LinkedIn, ravepubs LinkedIn, Gary K LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So we're in all those places.
Like 6 places, yes.
Yep.
So how are you, Gary? How's life been?
Good. I mean, I'm over here in my office on campus at UNC, and it was very hot walking over here today. I don't know if you've been outside lately, but it's in the 90s today, and that's quite unusual for the end of September.
It is. It's your daughter's birthday today, isn't it?
It is my good one. That is my daughter's birthday today, and actually I posted a picture of her. I don't know if I probably should have said to grab it for our episode, but I posted a picture of her when we were. This is I don't know if you can see that or not. So I don't know if that's in focus or not, but when she was 5 years old, I took her to Disney World, and that was the moment that she saw Winnie the Pooh. So now she's 27. So she, of course, doesn't remember that moment, but I certainly remember it. And I happen to have my. This is sort of like a historical record here. I had this picture. It's on Instagram. There you go. Now it's in focus.
Yes.
That was taken with. You probably don't even know what these are, Steph, but they used to make these small cameras called digital cameras, right? That had a lens that would like go in and out from the camera before they had cameras built into phones. So that was taken with a little small Sony DSC camera.
I used to have a Nikon Coolpix. Do you remember those?
Like that. It's like a Coolpix. Exactly.
Yeah. Like Ashton Kutcher was in all the commercials for them.
Is that why you bought it?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
So what'd you do this weekend?
I went to my high school reunion over the weekend.
My
10-year
reunion?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Give us the what's the word today? What's the word? Not the dice. The what? What's the word?
T?
The T. Yes, the T. Give us the T. What's the most popular person a loser, and the most loserous person all of a sudden owns the biggest company?
The popular people did not show up. They thought they were too cool,
right? I mean,
to attend.
Popular, yeah.
Well, many of them have lots of children now, so I think that maybe they couldn't find a baby. I don't know. And then a lot of the one of the guys who wasn't in the cool group, but was a theater kid. I was also a theater kid. I was not cool in high school. He rolled up in a Tesla. So I was like, all right, good. But no one, I think, aged really badly. Everyone kind of looked the same. If that makes sense.
It is your 10-year reunion stuff. You got to give it a little bit more separation between.
Yeah. Everyone looked the same. I knew who everyone was immediately. Yeah. A few people came up to me and they were like, who is that? And I would have to give, there was only 2 people that I was like, now, who are they?
So where was the reunion held? In the cafeteria or something?
No, it was held at a venue, at a wedding event venue in cool. Anger area.
Yeah, but she and I both grew up in a little teeny tiny town of Anger, North Carolina, which is when I grew up there was a population of 1,500 people. I don't know what it is.
It's bigger now, I would say, for 2,000? Sure. Yeah, I don't know. But it was good. Not a lot of people came. I think it was probably 30, 40 people. Mm-hmm. But the people who did come, we had a good time. I think that toward the end of the night, it was the funnest because people just kind of got over themselves. Also, Carrie looked up the population of Anger. It's actually 5,700 now.
Ooh, that's twice the size. Almost 3 times the size of when I lived there. That's pretty awesome.
Big city. So
it's got a whole grocery store now.
But it was good. I think the 20-year will be really good as well. I think people will kind of get over themselves a little bit. I think that at the 10-year, you're still trying to convince, not a lot of people asked me about me. When I would talk to people, they'd be like, Well, I'm actually really successful, and I'm actually doing this. And
well, Steph, how are you doing?
I think I'm doing pretty well.
I think you are too.
Like,
I care about you, Steph.
Thank you. I was there with my best friend and her husband, so it was pretty good. And like I think that Hannah kept trying to like be my bulldog for me. She'd be like, "Well, Steph actually is she is in AV and she actually does some really great work. She has a TV show."
Speaking of which, we do have some stuff to talk about.
We do.
I know you want to talk about the Pearl Tech show that happened last week.
Yes, but so yes, the Pearl Tech show, that is what Megan attended. That was in like kind of the Chicago, Illinois area. Like whenever there's something in that way, she always goes and covers it. But yeah, this was it was in Peoria. Thank you, Carrie. But whenever there's something out that way, Megan goes and covers it. And she actually got an interview with Jeremy Caldera, who is, you know him, Gary. He's a dear friend. And so she just has this little video we're going to show just to talk about what the showcase was and all that she saw there.
Excellent.
Hi, I'm Megan Detta from rAVe Pubs. I am here with Jeremy Caldera at the Pearl Tech Showcase. Jeremy, thanks for having us today.
Oh, I'm excited you guys are here.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic day. So tell us a little bit about the showcase.
So basically, we're taking about 30 or so of our top vendors that we primarily use with a lot of our clients. So we're having them set up their booths, set up some of the new technology, kind of like an expo kind of thing. And then we invite all of our top clients or any of our top potential clients that we want to have come in and come see the new tech, come see the new technology, and just a mini trade show, if you will, right? It's really great turnout. We got double the booths this year. We're also doing education this year throughout the day. It's been really successful so far, and we still got a couple hours left to go.
So what's different this year? This is your second annual showcase. What did you learn from last year? What's changed this year?
Well, the biggest thing that's changed is the fact that we're not under the strict COVID restrictions that we were under last year, right? Last year we had to kind of break everybody into certain time blocks so that we didn't have a massive amount of people here. So not having to do that has allowed us to do other things like education. So we can do education throughout the day. We're doing topics on cybersecurity for AV systems, as well as choosing display sizes and technical stuff like acuity factor and user experience design, and just all kinds of education, which is turning out to be great. They're really, attendance has been awesome on those. So that's, I think, the biggest addition, not to mention the probably doubling of the booths that we've got. So.
And I hear there's something fun going on tonight.
Yeah, so for our top clients, when we shut down at 5 o'clock, we invite them and all their families back. We've rented out the entire museum space so that all of the families can come for inflatables, and they can they can visit all the exhibits at the museum. We're running movies in the IMAX here, as well as their planetarium. We're running several shows at the planetarium throughout the evening. That all goes till probably 8, 9 o'clock tonight. So.
And if people want more information about Pearl Technology, where should they go?
PearlTechnology.com.
And if you want to follow all of the latest AV news, head to ravepubs.com.
I'll tell you, that is a great idea. I love the idea of keep opening up the kids museum and the IMAX at night. I mean, we're going to have to get more creative as an industry about this. And there's a couple things I noticed there. Number one is this is a trend. The trend's going to be everyone's going to start doing their own regional shows because they realize that fewer people are going to want to travel long distances for long periods of time. There's a great opportunity for regional events. And second, it's time that we do involve families and we recognize that we aren't like this tech industry just filled with just tech people that are interested in only technology, that we have other lives there. And I think what he did, is really cool by inviting the families. I'd love to see that at even InfoComm or even big events as well, where we actually proactively, now Vegas, I understand you can't proactively say, hey, bring your kids to Vegas. There's nothing for them to do. But to bring the kids to Orlando and Dallas for Cedia, there's a lot. I mean, Dallas has some amazing children's museum and children. I think this is a great thing, and I hope it becomes a trend.
I do too. And don't forget, Megan did go to every booth at this smaller showcase. And you can watch all of those product videos on our rAVe Pubs YouTube channel. But moving right along, we've got some great sponsors and partners here at rAVe TV. We talk about them every week. One of those is Legrand, and Legrand recently released an ebook called The Showing, talking about adaptable spaces. So basically what this ebook does, it kind of emphasizes the importance of investing in new AV systems, no matter what your space is used for, the multitudes of things possibly. Like, it doesn't mean that you can't invest in the type of AV equipment that needs to go in there. Yes, everything is hybrid. Many spaces are used for many different things, but there's still equipment that can work for every type of room. So they show all the equipment that can be used in each room type, different room shapes. Legrand shows how to outfit these spaces with all these types of options to ensure that you can find something that works for you and your team, and for something that helps you work well. So definitely go check out that ebook. We will drop it in the LinkedIn comments now, so you can go download that completely free of charge.
That Legrand is a glue company. So they make the cameras, they make the shades, they make the lighting control, they make all the mounts, even the furniture. So they're a good company to kind of partner with.
Like a one-stop shop, basically. Yep. Exactly.
And by the way, I mentioned Cedia. We're all heading to Cedia next week, 29th to October 1st. We're excited about that. I'm very excited about this show. I've only missed one Cedia since the show started. I was at the very first show. I wouldn't even call the first show a show, but it was like it was sort of kind of happened accidentally. And going back to Dallas, where it all started in a way, the first time they actually had a show, they had like a meeting the year before in Florida somewhere, but then they had an actual show. The first show was actually at the Dallas Fashion Mart. I'm going to say 20 years ago, but I was at that first, maybe a little longer ago, but that was at that first one. So I'm excited to go back to Dallas, and I'm excited for the show because this is like, home toy show. And there's going to be a lot of UC products in this show as well. And I know you have a special guest to talk about what's going on.
Yes, we do. So joining us right now is Hank Alexander, director of HTSN. How's it going, Hank?
It's going well. Thanks for having me.
Of
Hank,
course.
what is HTSN? Tell everybody what it is.
Home Technology Specialist Nationwide.
Very cool.
And what do you do?
We are a marketing and buying group. So, we bring vendors and people together and help them compete and be better in the marketplace, and great digital websites and all kinds of fun stuff.
Very
and
cool.
We get to go to Cedia.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So tell us a little bit about what you'll be doing this year at Cedia Expo.
Yeah, so we actually have a 60 by 60 booth. Our partner, Auzione, is in the booth with us, as well as some of our regionals. And then we built a tiny home a couple of years ago. And we integrated GE smart appliances and Control4 and Google Nest. And it's got a Samsung frame TV and clip speakers. It kind of brings the whole thing together. And we actually take this on a road tour. It goes around to some of our members and different shows. And we've had it at our primetime show, for our members. And this is the first time we've had it at Cedia, so we're pretty excited. In fact, as we were just coming on, I just got a note from our transportation company. It just got picked up, and it just left North Carolina and is headed to Dallas.
Very cool. Very cool.
So
you're gonna have
I have a question for you about your regional show, because you just mentioned that you do a show. Is that show that's for all the HTSN members, obviously? But I'm wondering, when's the last time you did that show, and in relation to the fact that I think regional shows are going to get bigger, when's the last time you had that show, and what was it like?
Yeah, so the last HTSN show we had was in April. Great attendance. I agree. I think that regional shows are going to be important. Like, we do all the Cedia Tech Summits, business and tech summits recently. Yeah. And the turnout at those has been phenomenal. Because, everybody, we all like to, especially after the last couple of years, we like to get together and see everybody and do all those things. And it looks like the attendance at Cedia in Dallas is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, 15,000 plus.
As we go around, as we go around to these regional shows, it blows my mind. People they come out, and they're very, very important now to the industry.
Yeah. So HTSN, how do you get involved? And we have both manufacturers watching this show, but we also have integrators, and a lot of integrators cross into home, whether the traditional home integrators like it or not, because what ends up happening, we do a boardroom and the CEO is like, hey, can you come do the lighting control in my house? And vice versa. A lot of the home is getting into the commercial. They're calling it resi-mercial. So how do we get involved?
Yeah. So there's a lot of resi-mercial business going on. We have a lot of members that play on both sides of that. HTSNgroup.org is our website. You can reach out to me directly. We'll put my email and cell number up there if you want. I don't hide behind, anything. Like, there's nobody screening my phone calls. I put my cell number out there for anybody. But it's really easy to get a hold of us and be a part of it. We've got a really great list of vendors and members, and we're really excited. Got a cocktail reception. If you're going to be going to Cedia and you want to go to a cocktail reception on Thursday night, we're doing a cocktail reception at the new Samsung Design Center. So get a hold of us. We'll get you an invite to that if you're interested.
Well, I actually did a video cast with you just a week or so ago about all that you're going to do at Cedia, and I'm going to go ahead and send a link over to our team to make sure that gets posted. If you're watching us on LinkedIn right now, on Twitter, or wherever you might be watching us, you'll be able to click on this link that we're going to post here in just a second. You can watch the interview with Hank. Tells you a little bit more about HTSN, and I hope that everyone will check them out. We'll be there in your booth. We're going to shoot videos in every single booth on the show floor. We're going to treat this just like a normal Cedia show. So we're excited to be there and go Tar Heels this weekend against Notre Dame, right, Hank?
Not a North Carolina fan. Sorry.
Who are you a fan of?
ASU guy.
Oh.
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 Yeah. Uh-oh. I feel like I hit a nerve here. I'm sorry. What did I just...
Well, anyway, we'll see you in Dallas. Maybe we'll hit up a Mavericks game. We can't argue about that. But
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so as Steph mentioned, thanks, Hank. Steph mentioned we have some great sponsors. One of those is, in addition to Legrand, is Shure. And Shure makes these mics that we are talking on now. It's why Steph and I sound so good.
So good.
All the time. And we're going to bring you a message from Shure.
Hi, I'm Chris Lyons with Shure. When I'm on a conference call, I devote my full attention to whatever is being discussed. Okay, that's not true. I normally am multitasking, and I often forget to mute my microphone. Yes, I'm that guy. Fortunately, IntelliMix Room DSP software has a feature that is designed to deal with people like me. It's called the AI denoiser, and it gets rid of common random room noises that can easily disrupt your meeting audio. I really don't know how it works. I think we reverse the polarity of the phantom power or something like that, or maybe it's digital. I don't know. But the point is, it works. Now, if I'm in a meeting, I like to click my pen. It kind of helps me think. So if I start clicking my pen, it might be disruptive and heard by the people on the other end of the call. But the denoiser knows how to take out the clicking of the pen and not disturb my voice. I like to look smart during a meeting, so I type on my keyboard a lot. People think that I'm taking notes or sending an important email, but I'm really not. Here's my pro tip for looking more productive. If you have one of those keyboards that's really quiet, doesn't make much noise, just type extra loud so it draws more attention to it. Now, of course, the denoiser can tell the difference between the keyboard clicking and the sound of my voice. So it gets rid of the keyboard, but it leaves my speech where it should be. Send. Probably the most annoying thing I do during meetings is eat. Now, I like meetings where they bring in pizza, but I try to keep some snacks around my desk just in case that there's, a meeting that runs long and they don't have any food. And so, fortunately, with the denoiser on, it takes care of all that noise. And I don't have to worry about crunching chips or cookies or anything else. Sometimes it's actually pretty difficult to get these bags open. You would think they make them easier. But once I've got a snack ready, then I can go 2, 3, 4 hour meeting, no problem. The denoiser is included with IntelliMix Room DSP software. If you're already using IntelliMix Room, just upgrade to the latest version and you'll have it. And then you don't have to worry about being that person.
All right, we have a special guest joining us this week, Paul Harris from Aurora Multimedia. First off, Paul, have you gone to your 10-year or your high school reunion yet?
Unfortunately, way too long ago. we went how many years ago.
Last time I talked to Paul, he was at an amusement park with his kids.
Yeah.
How was that park?
Not as good as the one in Jersey, but it's Six Flags, so it was fun. I got to go. I was in Texas, speaking of Texas, which I love Texas. I wish I was going to the Cedia show, but we really don't do a lot of residential. But I was visiting in Houston, took a jump flight to San Antonio, and then went to the Six Flags there. My daughter picked me up at the airport, and then we drove back to where she lives, which is in Austin.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
yeah,
So you just went all over Texas.
Well, if you want to get in the home market, I know this guy, Hank Alexander, that could help you get in the home market, Paul. There's a lot of money being spent in the home market and by the way, AV over IP and HD-based T are two standards that have been in the home market for a while now.
It probably wouldn't be that hard to get into it, but we got our hands pretty full right now. But maybe one day we'll take. We've been on and off with Cedia. It's not that we don't cater to residential.
Yeah.
We'll gladly take residential, and we do work with residential companies. We just don't put the same amount of effort. But what I find is usually when you're known as a commercial company, you do well in the commercial industry. When you try to go to residential, it's a lot harder to break in, and vice versa. When a residential company,
right, but HTSN, that's exactly what they help with. That they can help you with that. So anyway,
we should talk, Hank.
I brought you on here to talk about what's going on with regard to AV over IP. Now, as you know, as you are well aware of, you took an aggressive stance. Marketing wise, saying, look, we have products in stock. Crestron can't ship the NVX. We'll ship for you. I know you got a cease and desist letter from that original email, and Crestron was nice enough to come on. Oh, there it is.
Oh, not printed beside you.
It's a nice piece of paper, so it is worth framing. It's
well, you got a cease and desist, and they basically wanted you to stop using their name and talking about some of the exclusive features that they have. But I want to talk to you about sort of what's going on now, and are you still shipping product? Have you run out of product yet? Because you've been talking about how much product you have, but eventually going to run out.
We're shipping. We're shipping most of our products. Our control products are doing really well. The AV over IP, all the different models. I think to date, so far, our worst lead time has been of any particular product has been 8 weeks. And that was because I had to redesign about 3 products, and then we reported the code, and then we were back up and running about 8 weeks later. So it's just adapting a lot. I mean, it is not the best situation out there, but there are ways of adapting to it, and a lot of it has to do with relationships and methodology of design. So we've when we came out with the new product, we have 3 different board reps for that product to make certain we can pivot in different directions if we need to. So right now, we come everybody, we got product. We can, and now is it possible we can overrun our forecast? Absolutely, but we did a calculation. Probably take us about 4 months if we went totally dry in our forecast. It doesn't mean we're not making product. We're making product all the time. It just means whoever gets to it first gets to it first. And then if we have to put more into the pipeline, it could take another 4 to 6 months to get more added into the size of the pipeline at the run rates we're doing. And that applies to pretty much any of our products.
And ultimately what happened here is not your fault or Crestron's fault. COVID happened, then supply chain shut down, and then everybody's having a hard time getting certain chips that are the key components to building everything from cars to AV over IP products. But I think in your case, you're diversified in a quite unusual way, in the sense that you have 1 gig and you also have 10 gig, and then you have different flavors of 1 gig as well. You don't just use one chip company, so that put you in sort of the catbird seat, right?
It did. Plus, I was doing alpha and beta developments with different companies. So we have really tight relationships with certain companies that are out there, which gives us a kind of good leverage at the beginning to get product out earlier than other people before they start consuming chips. We've had some really good partners where we contribute, they contribute. So part of it's partnerships. We even work with a lot of our competitors in the background to get chips, believe it or not. We've helped a few of our competitors get chips that we have excess of that we don't need, and vice versa. They've helped us. So a lot of it is it's a combination of things to work to get through this. It's how you design the product, how many variations can you do to achieve the same result of the product, how well in advance do you buy products so that you have a constant. I mean, we're buying a year in advance worth of parts. It's a lot of, you got to capitalize a lot for it, but we do it. And then you have to just keep paying attention to the market, and then you have relationships in the background. Just because people are competitors doesn't mean they're your enemy necessarily. Plenty of work out there.
Well, I mean, what is your relationship with Crestron right now, considering that y'all keep going back and forth?
Well, I'd say it's probably not the best. It's funny. The reason why we did the first email, look, we were just being very marketing, a matter of fact. We just put the solution for Crestron NVX lead time issues. You call it what it is. If you don't call it what it is, people just gloss right over the email. So just look, everybody was coming to us saying, I have a problem with the Crestron NVX, with the Crestron Control, with the Crestron HP. It was a little bit of everything. And so we're like, okay, well, we got the new, at that point, we were releasing the VPX, and we're like, okay, well, here's a solution. And we got plenty of them, thousands of them being built up on the assembly line right now. Let's solve people's problems. If they can't get this, I'm more than happy to step in and sell product. That's what fair competition's about. They apparently not only did not like our title, but they also did not like the fact that we had this nice box that said, yes, 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 and theirs was no, 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 no. And I guess they took exception to that too. And hence the cease and desist, which had no merit to it whatsoever, which we did respond, by the way. And I did watch Brad's response, said that he said it was.
Yeah, he was on rAVe TV last week.
Yes, I saw that. I was commenting in there a little bit.
Yes.
So, and what did you think? Because he said that they are also helping to redesign systems. I did actually talk to the executive director or whatever he is, Justin at SDVOE, and he also said that they have heard that Crestron is redesigning systems using competitors' products in some cases. Have they been putting Aurora products in there?
I even challenged them, and I said, so here's a few things I did. One, just to put it out there for the record, we did respond to Crestron before we sent out the follow-up email talking how they sent us a cease and desist. They never replied to us.
Okay.
I even tried to friend Brad, by the way. He won't be my friend. I don't know what's up with that, but I did try.
He will eventually. He's a nice guy. Brad, he was actually a nice guy. You even said that, Paul. He was a nice guy.
I'm hurt, but I got no problem against him. I'm actually trying to friend the guy. Good communications. Talk business, because he did say that the design services team is speccing in products, and I'd love to help them. I've yet to see one. If somebody knows of one, I'd love to see the proof, especially when they're accusing us of staging and, having this flair for the dramatic or whatever. No, we just made an email blast. They sent us a cease and desist, which was ridiculous. It was a form of intimidation, because that's the only reason why you send something like that out, when you don't have a basis for it. Otherwise, no one would be able to use anybody's company's name or make comparison charts. And the reason mostly why I did it is they were being a hypocrite. They spent years giving false and misleading claims about Aurora and our products, which we've made videos on. We've proven it time and time again. We don't send them out cease and desist. We just have fun with it.
But Paul, can't we all get along? I mean, the market is a small market.
It is.
Ultimately, we're all eventually going to retire and hang out together in the Caribbean, right? Are we all going to end up being friends somewhere?
Well, everybody that knows us knows we get along with everybody. There's only one company which we try to get along with. It's really a matter of, look, at the end of the day, if you're going to talk about your product, talk about the strengths, talk about the truths of the product. Don't go doing hokey demos that get off topic and try to sway people and confuse them with information that's not real. They've been doing that for years for us. For the most part, we respond when they do it. We don't usually go on the attack. This was more of a help you out email. But when they sent the cease and desist, that was really unnecessary. There was nothing wrong with the email blast. They're just thinking if they send a letter out that they're going to intimidate companies. It is what it is, but we're more than happy to work with them. We're easy to get along with. A lot of the employees at Crestron are really good people. We really got nothing against them.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, the truth of the matter is the company is made up of people, and the people at both companies are great. I've enjoyed working with people at both your organization and at Crestron. This is a moment in time. You're in a good position because you have product in stock. I'm glad that you're able to take advantage of that. And one unique thing about Aurora is that not only do you have 1 gig AV over IP and 10 gig, but you also have HD-based T and traditional HDMI Paul, you've always been a fun guy to talk to because you say it like you think it is, and you don't beat around the bush. And I from a personality standpoint, because I feel like I'm the same way. Gets me in trouble sometimes. I'm sure it could gotten you in trouble a few times, but I hope that ultimately, yeah, unfortunately, you're having to spend money on attorneys you probably wouldn't want to spend. But hopefully this all works out well and everybody wins.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's nothing as far as in the scheme of things, unless they escalate it. But like I said, there's no merit behind it. But as far as getting back to your other question, though, with the industry, in fairness to Crestron, one of the reasons why they're having problems is that one of the chips that they use is an FPGA, and obviously they use a lot of microcontrollers, and those are the two hardest to get parts on the entire market. We were fortunate enough to transition from FPGAs to ASICs before it all happened. So, if timing was different, we could have been in a similar situation.
Yeah.
Are they in a poor situation? Yeah, unfortunately they are. And part of it is you got to try to pivot, try to do things. There's pros and cons to everything. And I'm sure eventually they'll get out of their situation like most companies tend to do.
Yeah.
It's really about, hey, you never know when we have chips that might be able to help them out. They have to communicate. They have to work with us. But
let us know if that happens. But in the meantime,
I would love somebody to let us know when it happens. But
you can check out Aurora Multimedia at auroramm.com. Paul Harris, thanks for joining us. Connect with Paul on LinkedIn. He's readily available. He's waiting to connect with you. As our third sponsor of rAVe TV is rAVe Pro AV. rAVe's three divisions. The Pro AV division builds high-end PTZ cameras that can be controlled via USB, connected via USB, HDMI, and also through the network, NDI or AV over IP. In addition to being controlled that way, check out this message from rAVe.
It's just a link. So basically,
a link.
No, you're good. You're good.
To their site. Okay, good.
It's just a link, basically just referring to all about rAVe and how they partnered with Microsoft to be Microsoft Team certified for multiple of their products, meaning that their portfolio of certified collaboration tools for these team environments, they're made to just be plug and play, very easy to use no matter what your room size is. Whether it's a huddle room to a large conference room, rAVe, their solutions are made to be.
I did a launch and learn with them and also Lenovo. And so you can actually go and look at that launch and learn. It was a couple of weeks ago. If you go to launch.com, lavnch.com, go to the on-demand section of our website, and you can watch that launch and learn. rAVe, I'm excited to have them as a new partner for rAVe TV, and hopefully we'll have them on to talk about sort of their value proposition, because they're specifically in one segment of the market, UC, and they're primarily selling cameras in that segment of the market, as well as some microphone arrays, but primarily cameras is what they're going after in our segment of the market. So you might want to check them out. Of course, they're competing with companies like Marshall and others, but check them out at the link that is being provided to you now inside of LinkedIn or wherever you might be watching this from. Hey, besides Cedia, we are also excited about going to the DSE show in the middle of November. We'll be heading to the new Digital Signage Experience show. It used to be called Expo. It's now called Digital Signage Experience. And we actually have a code, rAVe Gift. If you register using that code, you can get in for free. And they're going to do some neat things. They're going to have not only show floor tours, but they're also going to have venue tours and experience tours, including of the stadium there in Vegas. And I'm excited to be going there. And next week, at the end of this week, I should say Friday of this week, I'll be heading to DC. Thursday night, I'll be flying up there, and I'll be the keynote speaker of the Almo E4 show in DC. And then next month, be doing the same thing in Boston. This is a brand new keynote that I'm doing that is all about building experiences to help bring people back to the office. I've only delivered it one other time, and the people that attended it, that have attended my other E4, said it was the best one that I've done so far. So hopefully I'll live up to those expectations and make those happy. If you're in the DC area, please come Friday morning. Free breakfast, free lunch, free keynote, free education, CTS credits, and a small show floor with about 50 vendors. With a lot of products that's only been seen at Infocom, some new LED products, some new LCD products, new projector products from Epson. And we got some virtual events coming up, don't we, Steph?
We do. So first of all, we would love for you to come and see us at Cedia Expo. So definitely come if you can make it to Dallas. But if you cannot, we are doing a replay Cedia Expo virtual event October 5th through 6th. And that's going to be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. So it's going to be different content each day. We're going to kind of split it up based off of the different themes that we see on the show floor, the different things we've learned. There's going to be unscripted sessions. We're going to show some favorite product videos. So definitely join if you want to see like what's going on with resimercial market. What kind of products does that encapsulate? So it's going to be really great. Also, launch week is going to be October 24th through 27th. And that is just, it's going to be amazing. This is probably, I think, based off of the people that we've gathered who are going to be part of this event, my favorite launch week that we have ever done.
Especially Emerging Technologies Day. That's
yes. This is the first time we've ever really done that, like a full day of just emerging tech. So definitely register.
And Paul Harris is going to be on a panel about supply chain. So if you want to see more Paul Harris, you definitely got to come to.
You definitely got to join the supply chain. I think I'm really excited to just hear people talk about it because it's been so hush hush. Like last year, I think I tried to interview different people about supply chain stuff, and manufacturers just like wouldn't bring it up. So I'm really happy that like we're talking about it. We're being kind of more open about it. And so then that allows us to be more solutions oriented. But yeah, and don't forget, final thought, you can join launch, make a account if you don't have one, or you can log in with your current account and you can rewatch literally any past launch event that you want. So don't forget, there's the metaverse one that just happened yesterday. So if you want to learn more, but you couldn't go, you can rewatch. The archive is right there. And ADI recently did a launch and learn, Gary. That one was really cool because that was the first one we've done that focused on business, financial, and organizational issues. And they specifically talked about what to do with this inflation recession combo that we're getting ready to go into and some ideas that they had. And I was really impressed with that. It's literally like free business advice. So definitely join, register, and go back and watch that because that's like, why wouldn't you? That's very,
and that all came from NSCA.
Advice.
By the way, all that came from NSCA. You can check them out at nsca.org, National Systems Contract Association. Great for integrators to belong to if you're not already there. Thanks for your time. We had a busy show today. We ran over our normal. You know, the nice thing about our show, though, because we're an internet show in a way, I guess you'd say, or we can make it however long we want. It's not like some directors in the background saying you need to get off because we got another show starting. So
we're the only. We're the only show.
After our show, there's no show.
There's no show. Like why?
It's like color bars. Back when I was a kid, late at night when shows were over, color bars would be on your TV, and I liked it because I could recalibrate my TV. And back then, TVs would drift constantly. Now there's no color bars. You have to pay $2,000 for a test generator to do that now.
Is that when you had rabbit ears? Was that right time?
Yeah, pretty much. We had, and I was telling my class the other day, they were all shocked when the president came on back then. That was the only thing on TV. There was no options. They were like, you couldn't watch Below Deck instead of the president. I'm like, no, there was no Bravo. There was no Housewives. There's nothing. Oh my gosh! It was only
whenever my dad gets mad at me or gets mad when I don't know what to watch, he's like, when I was a kid, we had 3 channels, and you watch something on the 3 channels, or you just
I'm there with your dad. That was it. Yeah. Hey, by the way, speaking of channels, tonight, now, if you go to Disney Plus, the brand new show Andor just debuted with 3 episodes, and it's being called the best Disney television show, as good as the movie Rogue One, and that's my second favorite Star Wars movie.
That's my second favorite Star Wars movie too.
Yes. What's your first? Empire?
No.
What?
My first is A New Hope.
Okay, I'll take that. All right, I'll give you that.
Because it's the first one I ever watched. I still remember watching it for the first time as a kid, so I think that's why I like A New Hope.
All right. Well, I like Empire's number 1, my first. And
Paul is like this to me.
He doesn't know anything. He's probably a Harry Potter fan.
What's wrong with Harry Potter? We'll talk about that next time.
Not even the same.
We'll talk about that next time.
All right. We got to wrap it up. We got Carrie back there saying wrap it up. So bye.
Bye.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.